as soon as it pops up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we will be joining two individuals, Miranda and Ekta. Recently they learned of some troubles and possible ways to deal with those troubles. But those troubles, or the ways to deal with them, aren't necessarily making many people happy. Some people are just in a blow it all away kind of mentality, Aaron. And others, they want to protect people, protect life, balance, that sort of thing. Weirdos as they are, I know. Um, Ekta's often talked about how she does like these food things, charities, and goes and shares meals at this certain place. So that's where Miranda's coming to find her.
Oh, you're coming to the good water.
Yes.
All right. Well, what you are going to find is there are two chambers, one of which is the religious side, where there is the Guru Granth Sabji, where everyone goes to pray and meditate and chant. And on the other side is where longar is served. So whenever you first come in, what you're going to see is a kind of a foyer that's going to, have the two rooms open. There's going to be a place for you to put your shoes. There is going to be extra head coverings, and there is going to be a place for you to wash your hands. So that's what you see.
Miranda will stop at the thing where she sees many pairs of shoes and undoes her boots, slipping them off, and she looks around at people, women especially, with their head wrapped, and she looks at the wrappings and she's like, I can figure this out. I want to be respectful in her brain. That's what she's going through. And she picks one of them up and she's kind of looking it over, trying to figure out which way to start or how to do it, maybe.
You are greeted by a young woman who smiles and actually hands you a bandana. It's not really expected for someone who has never tied a turban to tie a turban. It's just a bandana. It's got the little Sikhi symbol on it.
Thank you very much. I was not sure what I would do with how I would do this. So, this is much simpler. Gracias.
Yes. I assume you're here for longer? The meal.
I think so. I'm hoping that a friend of mine is coming by. She says she comes by here regularly. She's a doctor.
Okay. So that is she lists a couple of names, and then there is, you do actually hear, and then there's Dr. Sadhana. If you're looking, okay, Ekta, she is actually in the back. Yeah, you'll just you want to go to the door on your left.
Door on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And she will tie her hair up in the bandana.
Wash your hands. Please tell me.
And then she's gonna wash her hands because she went to Catholic school when she was young. She knows about, when you have a little tray of thing of water by the entrance, it's to wash your hands because you're in a special, holy, sacred place, and you don't want to be rude and whatnot. So,
and
Then she will start making her way to the door on the left.
It is a very, very large room with several people. There's like a line for people to get the food, and then there is the place for everyone to sit. You sit and eat on the floor with like a mat laid out in rows, mats laid out in rows. The goal of this is to engender a feeling of we are all equal. So you sit down wherever,
Humility.
Yes, exactly. It is humility. And Ekta is going to be bringing out probably like a number 10 hotel pan. And she's going to notice you. And she's going to put, after she puts down the hotel pan down in the warmer, she's going to run up and give you a big hug.
I will say that Miranda, while she has that fur cloak on, probably because it's cold outside, she does have a more modest dress on.
Got it.
So she's not. It looks like it still is cinched in corset-like, maybe, but it's not like the risque stuff she was wearing.
Yeah. Ekta is in a normal, like her normal sari. This time, this one is in indigo with gold accents. She's got her neck is kind of wrapped with a chuni, which is the, it's like a dupatta that is draped up over her dastar, her turban, and kind of around her shoulders. But it's all in like indigo with like gold accents, and she looks like she's just been to service. So she's running up and she's like giving you this big huge hug. How have you been? I am so happy to see you here.
I have been very well.
Are you here for longer, or do we need to step out? Do we need to talk, or there's what can I do for you?
I have eaten, so we can save the food for those that need it. I was hoping that we could speak on stuff from the other evening.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me just one. Give me just one moment. And she's gonna run up and go to the other people doing seva there, and basically tell them that she will be back a little later, that she will be there to help clean up, but that something has come up and she needs to be excused, and but that she would help clean up after she's dealt with this. So she's gonna run, well, not really run, but she's gonna make her way back over to Miranda, and yeah, I don't really think that we need to talk about this here. There is a how about the park across the street? Would that work for you?
See, I like the nature. It is very wonderful.
It really is, and we're gonna need something to help calm us down after this. So she leads Miranda back out to the place with the shoes and the washing the hands, and the she'll collect her sandals and or rather her boots. Wouldn't quite be sandals this time of year. um, like her cloak. She'll hand Miranda, um, uh, well, she probably wouldn't recognize Miranda's boots, but she'll take Miranda's, little head covering, the
Bandana.
yeah, the bandana, um, and uh, wait for her to get her shoes on.
Yeah, while Act is doing that, Miranda grabs her boots, slipping them on, pulling the strings, tying them quickly.
And we're gonna make our way across the street to the park.
So I wanted to speak to you because I know you do not agree with the just blanket. I want to say is like spiritual murder. That is how I am understanding it.
That what Aaron is wanting is a fate worse than Gilgal. I have seen no evidence that, I see evidence of him being misguided. I see evidence of this Templar collecting an awful lot of bad karmic debt. I see someone who is very confused, but what I don't see is someone who is Naraka. Yeah, spiritual murder. And not just of him, of whoever, of him and his followers and anyone in that church.
We are assuming that they can narrow the target to the Jose Church. What if it is the neighborhood?
Oh God.
I know that when they go to talk, if things go bad for the people talking, I think they may go and fire the thing, even if we do not have a good reason other than the diplomats are in trouble. But I was hoping to create some sort of kind of like the thing here with the eating so that we can have as many of the people in the area away so that they are safe, if that makes a sense.
It does, but that does not negate the fact that, they've essentially come at us with Saturday night specials, and we are talking about nuking an entire area. That's what this feels like. This is I am I am I am Alberio. I am supposed to be an intra-tradition diplomat. I'm not even, I have one shot at this, is what it feels like. I would go to the Akashiana and beg them for help in breaking this cycle of bigotry. But I don't know I don't know them. And I'm not going to just show up at, wherever they are, knock on their door, and run the risk of, starting another Himalayan war.
I understand. There is some information I think you should know about the pagan Christian conflicts here.
Okay.
The both sides think the other side started it, but there was actually a group of snake worshippers in the sewers that I have confirmed are now dead, who had pitted the two sides against each other to cover up the malicious and bad things they were doing to peoples. But at this point, both sides have felt that the other is just attacking them, and that I do not know if they will listen to the reason of the truth. But the truth is, neither side started this, and I just want the fighting to stop. We have more problems than who gets to go to church this Sunday, you know?
Absolutely. So that is the underlying reason.
See, I talked to my friend Air, and because I saw in the vision that who was doing this, and I talked to her, and she said she and her people they went into the sewers and hunted them down and killed them.
So now it's just trying to minimize the damage.
See, there is a lot of collateral damage so far.
I have been speaking with a gentleman by the name of Alvaro.
See, the gentleman from the when we were at the night market.
Yes, yes, yes. He wants to be there for the diplomatic mission. I'm just waiting on confirmation of what it is that we are hoping to achieve. Um, because anytime you embark on one of these endeavors, one needs to know what the objective is. One needs to know what is willing to be given up and at what point we cannot give anymore. Um, I am probably more willing to bend than the Templar is.
From what he said when he come in, I do not think he intends to bend ever.
No, and from what Friar Leonard said, he's not willing to. He remembers every single life that he's ever lived, and it's always been as this harsh, bigoted.
Monster.
Yeah, well, I won't really call him a monster. Monster implies that he takes little babies and sells them into sexual slavery.
Monster implies that he happily and willingly goes and murders entire families, entire villages, without care because they are not him, they are not like him. He desecrates entire civilizations because they have something he wants. He does not care about the people. He does not care about anybody but his belief. We've seen what these crusades have done to this world time and time again. The Middle East has had how many wars because of these kind of beliefs?
Yeah, I'm not
How many
condoning
times
any
have
of
the
his actions.
Americas look what they did to the Americas when the Spanish came over with these kind of beliefs?
Absolutely. I am not condoning what he is doing. I am not condoning what this avatar, this Atman has done time and time and time again. But I cannot help but wonder if it was just that his deaths were not painful enough to make him learn.
Perhaps he
And
misunderstands his lesson and he thinks he must try harder and be more forceful each time. Because honestly, these kind of events over history have just been getting worse. For all we know, he could have been one of the Nazis and thought he was doing a good thing, purging everybody who is not quote Christian.
if he were actually part of the Third Reich, he would have been Naraka. It wasn't that Hitler was awakened himself. You know, there were nephandic fallen ones manipulating him. I know because we were the ones who stood against it. Because we saw the damage being done spiritually. we saw the underworld ripped open with the souls of these tortured beings. That was horrific. I don't know. I do know this is what I do know. I do know that he needs to be captured and brought before the council to answer for what he's done and what he continues to do.
Can we look his magic on his avatar while that is happen?
If there's a way, I don't have it. I don't know. I can ask around, but I honestly, Miranda, I feel like all I do is work, do seva, study, sleep, meditate, wash, rinse, repeat, and sometimes poke my head out. I
I
don't
will
have
see
that.
if I can find help for these answers. I do not know though who else to ask about. I guess I can speak to Tuomo, see if he has anything since he was not at the event that night. Maybe he has more information.
I cannot believe that Aaron would turn that wonder into a weapon of that degree. He has no idea the karmic backlash that would bring.
I would take the karmic backlash if we could stop the one man because he has done so much bad. But there's too many people that should not even be a part of this who are going to be affected.
Yeah. And they will never, ever awaken if we obliterate what Atman they have. We are likely to remove magic from these sleepers forever.
There is little enough magic in the world as it is.
And for what? So we can cannibalize this Atman? Use it for our own workings?
But that is the problem that I see. If they use it once, it then becomes a weapon that they hold over everybody. If you
Yes.
do not do as they say, they're going to destroy you and everything around you.
This is beyond the scope of even Shiva. Shiva just destroys worlds. He doesn't destroy a soul.
I think this machine should be destroyed.
If it is going to be used as a weapon like this, I'm weighing.
I would rather have to fight this Carol time and time again, beating him back until he finally learns, than to have them have a weapon like this to hold over. We do not know the range of something like this. They could take the world of magic hostage.
Yes.
You do not like what we say? You and your people, they're gone. You're no more. You cannot fight us. You will never even remember that we were here.
Yeah.
That is not acceptable.
No, it's not. The thing that gets me is that this is not what this thing was even designed to do. I mean,
The original purpose is a very good thing. You know, it fills world with more magic. But taking and saying, but we can go and do this with it, it is almost like that was built in intentionally, but without all of the people knowing that that was why it was built in. But then, who was the one who built that in? Was it the BA? Was it the Hermetics? Was it the Aetherite? Was it all of them? Was it none of them? Was it somebody doing it on themselves?
I have no answer. And there were Nyamavani who had their hand in it. I just don't believe that my own people would abandon the Chidona to that extent. I mean, it's something that we have hammered into us from the time we are Shravkas. Every single one of us can recite it. I mean, I can understand if, someone decides that they're going to, through their own stupidity, try and steal from this thing. And it
They could have done
obliterate.
something that just makes them forget about it, or subdues their magic whenever they come back in the presence trying to do something again. So as a defense, just in that space, the fact they can target elsewhere, that is what bothers me.
And without anyone doing anything against it or against us. This is a nuclear weapon. Do you realize that Albert Einstein fought for disarmament until the day he died? This is a nuclear warhead.
And there's one that can fire over and over and over.
Until there's nothing left.
I wonder if I can stir up enough electricity in it to break it.
Are you willing to sacrifice your Atman?
I am. See, that is the thing. I would not be going after the device. The device will be going after me. Because when I go near electronic stuff, if electricity comes out to me, I am not drawing it out, it comes out. And granted, if I went and try that with this machine, I could very well be electrocuted and possibly killed, but I will be back eventually.
If it
But
doesn't backfire and truly kill you.
one life is worth the risk to save countless hundreds of millions, billions. They can
And
focus it down to an area, but they did not say how big an area they can make that.
I can look at it and see where it would break. But they would just build it again. They have the diagrams. They have the knowledge. I mean, if it were just this one thing and the knowledge itself was not out there, I just don't want to see someone throw themselves into the fire only to have this thing resurrected again. What good would that have done?
You are right. We will have to make sure that the knowledge of the item was going first. Completely.
Yes.
And I know Aaron would not be willing to help in the electronic portion to clear out the BS stuff. He is proud of and happy for his weapon.
He should be proud and happy of the wonder that he helped create, not the weapon. I mean, nuclear power gives us electricity, gives us heat. It's not the knowledge itself that is evil, it is the intent behind it. And everything, everything decays. This includes the universe. This includes this world. We cannot keep turning the wheel fast enough to keep up. So with this level of destruction in the hands of those who don't have our rule, who don't have our laws, what are they doing? Aaron has no concept of daya, compassion. We can't close our eyes to the suffering of others. And this includes Carl, the Templar. The Templar is suffering. If you want me to take and sever his head from his body after I spend a month torturing him and making sure that he does not pass out, to make sure that the next go around he remembers this death and what his behavior cost him, to save the lives of the people that he leads and the people that he just randomly attacks, possibly killing. I mean, because let's face it, I have seen the man in full armor with his sword encased in fire. That is one of his fates. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I'm not saying that he is innocent. I'm not saying that he should not answer for his crimes.
They say that the machine is just pump and pump and pump the energy until it cannot be anymore.
Yes.
But what if they just put enough to cripple his avatar, to cripple his magic? Do you think that would work? Instead of firing a million lasers at the moon, just fire a single bullet, one aimed for what you need.
If they can calibrate it that way, absolutely. That would
allow us to take him and have him try for his crimes?
Yes. Absolutely. If they can find a way to do that, yes. But to murder the Avatar? To murder the other? The Atman, that which gets recycled? That's not turning the wheel, that's breaking it.
We also do not know what this machine would do, fire full blast to the spirit of the world.
No.
You are firing at the spirit of the world wherever you fire that weapon.
You are firing at you are firing at God.
At the mother of us all.
You're firing at a shard of God.
I work with several shelters around the city. So if we need to get people out of there, let me know and I will arrange to have the people move quickly if things do not go well.
If things do not go well, I fear that I will not have time to do anything other than I don't know. I will do what I can.
I mean, if this is like a, because Aaron was saying that they would pull the Pebbles back. I am assuming with magic, like teleportation. But I do not know if he has even things in place to try and prevent that sort of thing. I would have to. I would recommend talking to Father Leonard to see what was in place before he was gone, and try and figure out what snake nest we are Pebbles are walking into.
Yeah. I hope
Because if he has worded it from being to pull the peoples out, you would be sitting ducks waiting for him to end the life that he feels is an affront to him and his god.
he has so lost his way. He has so lost his way. You do understand that I am not condoning any of this Templar's actions.
See, I know. I do not condone it either, but we have to handle this very carefully because there are a lot of people other than him that will be affected.
Absolutely.
Because I am very certain that he's not just going to stand still while we target this massive energy thingy. If he feels a
No.
buildup in the area, I do not think he's going to stay there. And we do not know how fast they can track his movement or how far his movement can make himself move. What if he then tries to in just the right pattern around the city and he ends up having them destroy all of the majors in charge of the other groups?
I don't know. I just know that me and Samantha are going to be there, and I also know that Alvaro wants to be there, so he's going to be watching if nothing else. I'm not entirely sure what he thinks he can do, but
Do you know which faction he is a part of?
no.
Hmm.
I know that he has links with the dead, and I know that he and I are entwined in some way or another. How I'm not sure, but our fates are interwoven very closely.
Hmm. I have not seen him at the court before, so I do not think he's a member of them unless he just got here.
I'm sorry, Heather did not understand that.
Miranda was mumbling to herself about him not being a member of court.
Oh, court?
Oh, see, that is how the vampires of the city run things. They have like princes or barons or something like that, and they have their court, which is the people beneath them that they take care of, and they have rules to follow, and they work to protect each other.
I have never understood them. Of course, thinking I've never been really that close with them either. Somehow.
They are not for everybody.
Hmm?
They are not for everybody, I suppose.
I'm just wondering how on earth or why on earth anyone would want to check out of the cycle. There's a rhythm. It was put in place for a reason.
Because they feel they have not finished what they were meant to be starting.
Isn't that the
Perhaps
party of rape?
perhaps some have feared death. Perhaps they are simply cursed and they have no longer be a part of the cycle. I don't know.
Cursed, I can see. And if that is the case, then my heart truly does go out to them.
The ones that I have known have been truly amazing peoples.
I don't doubt it. I just don't understand it.
There are some who are very strange. But that is true with any group of peoples.
Oh, yeah, that's true for us, even.
See?
I
Like
mean,
Arrow, for example.
yes, Aaron has absolutely no moral compunction, I don't think.
I think it is because he did not have a childhood or growing up. He was made as a man.
That would be rather odd.
He
I mean,
said he was made and he was just here. So I'm wondering if he is like part of a cloning thing.
I almost wonder if he doesn't suffer from dissociative identity disorder. I mean, because the person that I spoke with at that grand opening thing with the wonder that they had built.
That is the spirit thing that he has a deal with.
Yes, there was a mention of a deal.
He made a deal with a, I think he said a fire spirit.
That would explain his wanting to burn everything.
Fire giant? Was it a fire giant? It was some sort of fiery thing. I think Air might know better. I will ask her.
Okay. I actually would like to meet this heir at some point.
That I can arrange. Perhaps one night when you are not so busy, we take you to the theater. There's a theater that has a safe space for all of the people who are not sleepers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can drink, you can chit chat. They have a space that is safe for supernatural folk to have open conversations.
Sounds
And
lovely.
and if you are not supernatural, you do not even realize the space is there. So you do not have to worry if they're in there if they are not supposed to be.
Nice.
There's no fighting, and you cannot use your things against others. But you can
Who
sit and
enforces
talk.
this?
And the owner, I am not sure what he is. There are some things that say he mage. There are some things that say he's like a shapeshifter. There are some things that say he is very, very old. I wonder if Connor knows. You'll have to ask him.
Yeah. These 24-hour shifts kill me.
Well, I'm glad you keep coming back from the dead then.
I only did that once.
Thankfully, I am alive and well, even if I do bite my lip a lot more now.
Even if you did get I'm sorry,
Even if I do bite my lip more now, and she opens her lips to show her
oh,
fangs.
Oh,
The very vampire-looking things.
oh, yes, the modifications.
It's kind of fun though when somebody is pestering you and you're just out and trying to have a nice walk, and they come up on you and they're like, "Hey, little girl, you want to have the funds?" And I'm like, "No, go away." And they like try and grab me and they flash the fangs and like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Careful, I bite." It's very good for that.
I can certainly see how that would be very good.
I do not think I've even been to a doctor in probably a dozen years. I had not even realized that.
Um, do you want to fix that?
I am not sick.
No, but there are silent killers.
I do not smoke. I I do drink. I admit that, but I have not been drinking nearly as much the last couple of weeks. I think I only drank that night when we were at the bar, and
I
then I only had one shot of tequila.
Well, that's good.
It's very good if I am going to try what we say we want to try. We
Yeah.
will see.
Um no, I did do a residency in internal medicine. Is why I say, if you want to change that. I mean,
Let you play doctor with me.
care.
You just want to play doctor with me, is that it?
I honestly, if I were to ever engage in that sort of uh fun sexy time, if I ever found someone, um I kind of think I'd rather leave the office at the office.
That is understandable. So are you more into the teacher student or like perhaps I do not think that is a good one to even say right now due to the situations. I will keep that one quiet.
um well, back in my younger, wilder days, it was mostly just about, crawling into the back seat of a sometimes I think the most cramped I've ever been. I did manage to have sex in a Pinto once.
Pinto.
Yes.
Ay, chihuahua. Lisa is not the best seat of a BW Vogue.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was difficult. That was I did not know I could bend that way, but that was many years ago.
So you just need to do the stretching and you'll be way mucho better. She just gives a playful wink. Besides, if you are running around saving people's lives, I think you'll do plenty of the exercise, so you should be fine.
Well, most of my stuff is paperwork. Most of my stuff is paperwork. I do make rounds. Um, I do adjust medications. Um, but most of the stuff that I do is literally nothing more than paperwork. And I don't know who on earth designed these electronic medical records, but they need to die. They do not. Medical records used to tell my patients stories. Now they're nothing more than just over glorified cash registers.
That is very sad. I'm going to have to talk to my friends, pull some strings, see if I can get that changed for you. I have friends in the medical uh, field.
You got friends in the law field?
Medical. Change up how the medical filing is done. Give you the story back and no more just cash register.
I mean, it's a challenge. Sometimes, I tend to lose patients in clusters. Most of the time, whenever they come to, as a matter of fact, all the times that they come to me, I only keep them at most 6 months before they pass along.
Ray, you say you work with the hospice.
Hmm.
I remember that.
I love what I do. I love my families. I love my patients. Um, I'm starting to get to know some of the aftercare people here. Um, you know, I mean, at least I at least know names, not anything any deeper than that, but um, I have my favorite funeral directors.
I think most people do if they have to interact with that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But I want someone who is funny and enjoying life, doing the funeral stuff, or do I want somebody who's more sombrous? I don't know. Because I'm more of a celebratory type of person. So I think I would want the celebratory person in charge.
It really is a celebration. Truly is a celebration. Whether or not it's done in a dignified, formal manner or a bunch of your friends gathering together, to raise a glass in your memory and to pour one out for you.
They better pour at least 2 shots out for me. At least 2.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all about honoring the life that was lived. And people have this misconception that hospice is about death. It's actually more about life. It's about quality of life. It's about giving people options whenever they're nearing the end. That's what it's about. It's about honoring the life that was lived. And it's about honoring the life that that person now leads.
Actually, you know what? I think a doctor visit would probably be very good, especially if we are going to try for a family. I think I will take you up on this doctor visit.
Okay. I can do pap smears. I mean, it's not. I'm not a gynecologist. Um, I can, if something comes up, I can always refer to a reproductive endocrinologist. Is your as you start coming closer to deciding if you want a family, is your bow against um coming in if there's no pregnancy after a year?
I am pretty certain that there will be pregnancy within a few minutes.
Well, yes, but sometimes the body really doesn't really want to cooperate.
No, my body will cooperate. I will make sure of it.
Yes, your body may. Will his?
I am handling all the bodies involved.
Ah, okay. Okay. Um,
Once it is given to me, it is mine to spin.
got it. That's yes. So I
So I
guess
just
I
want
don't
to
need
make
to
sure
go
that
into
things
like,
are. I just want to make sure that everything is working right. That should be.
sure. Just to I mean, get with your bow, decide what, when you want to do this, if you want to do this. Um I'm not going to do a pelvic exam in the middle of a in the middle
You
of
do
a
not want to do it right here.
we're not doing it here.
You are such a spoiled sports.
I'm trying to preserve your dignity.
I have no dignity, or no, I have dignity. I do not have. What is that one for embarrassment?
Modesty?
Modesty. See, I am not modest. Everybody out there thinks so me naked. and carried around naked and enjoyed naked. I mean, being modest at this point is not necessary. Everybody's seen it.
Yes, but I'm sure the families walking around here probably haven't.
Well, I mean, that it could like make it so they do not realize we are here.
Well,
Relax, I am just kidding.
I'm like, I
You
don't
do not
have
have the
kids
tools
here.
here to do this. It
I
is
don't.
okay.
I need equipment that is not here. I need my equipment. There are tools of the trade. I came here for Seva.
I know, and I am sorry for pulling you away
Oh
from that.
no. No, no, this
I just needed
needed.
somebody to talk to about
Same
it.
here. Same here. I have probably served about 300 people today. Um, I still haven't found that Taftani. He still hasn't come around. Um, I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him around at all.
The Z fellow?
Yeah, the Z fellow.
I don't know. No, I've not seen him since that night actually.
Yeah, me neither. I hope he's
Some
okay.
people there. He probably got distracted with his everyday life, like some
Probably.
other people do.
Yes,
She kind of gives
probably.
you that look of like, meaning you.
Yeah. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. It is a very disciplined life, but it is a life.
As long
There,
as you are happy and fulfilled, that is what matters.
I'm fulfilled. I'm not one to go chasing after active pleasures.
Happiness do not have to be active pleasures. It could be having flowers when you get home. It could be being able to have time to just sit and read a book. It could be going out to your favorite restaurant once a month. It is can be the little things add up more to the happiness than one big thing here and there.
Self care. You know, there's a saying that we have, and that's empathy kills, because there's a difference between empathy and compassion. Compassion is, I love you in the face of your suffering. Empathy is, I take your pain and make it my own.
See,
So,
I've never claimed to be empathetic. I am sympathetic. I see people in pain and I feel bad for them. And if I can, I help them if it is helpful for them, healing costs and such. But if it is something that nobody else can fix for them, I feel sad for them that they're in that position and not learning, but I cannot make them learn.
no, it's part of the reason why I either need to get with someone needs to go with me to the Akashiana, or um, we need to just deal with Carl, and I need to make sure that he doesn't pass out at any point.
I will say that if the diplomatic mission does not go well and everybody leaves it safely, and it is obvious that we cannot separate him without much collateral damage, I will go with you to the Akashis.
I would appreciate it, because I don't really feel like going up to, you know, the war's ended, but
Some
we
scars never heal.
no, and diplomat though I am, it would be foolhardy to attempt to um, just knock on their door and be like, "Hey, just yeah, we work together, we don't really trust one another.
I have the feeling that not many of our peoples trust many of our other peoples. That's probably how they let the weapon aspect get involved in this.
Yes.
Because they thought they were the one making the secret weapon.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people do not, a lot of the other traditions don't really understand that we do have a law. And quite frankly, because of the nightmare that was House Helikar, they see us as one step removed from Naraka. Do you want to know what started that 500-year war between us and the Kashyana?
If I were to take a guess, I would say somebody was an asshole.
It was a misunderstanding. There was we got along great whenever we first, met up with one another. Fantastic. Both of us, were uh trying to, balance out karma. Both of us were trying to guard the wheel. And then a plague broke out. And people were dying all around. And one of our healers went out with one of the Akashiana healers. And one of the patients was actively dying. And because there were so many others that we could save, this Nyamavani broke his neck, put him back on the wheel to end his suffering so that he could be free to deal with the ones that he could save. So he did the most humane thing he knew to do. And the Akashiana saw that and thought it was horrific that he did not try to save this patient. He just killed him. Saw it as brutal. And so because of that, both sides believing that we were fighting for the wheel, fighting for destiny, fighting for the side of right, we embarked in a 500-year-long war over a misunderstanding.
Because he was an asshole and did not say, "Why you do that?" And he said, "I could not save him, so I ended his suffering." A simple conversation. But
Yes,
no, he had to go be an asshole and like, "Oh no, you look at these people, they're monsters." Rah.
pretty much. And I mean,
That's
it
meant
was
for
so
you.
bad. It was so bad that as soon as, we were having children awaken, and these children, their Atman was pushing them to fight. They didn't even understand why they were fighting. So we were having children fighting in the streets.
Mm.
I mean, it was horrific. And the wars ended, but there's still this level of underlying distrust. So I don't feel comfortable going to the Akashiana, knocking on their door, going, "Hi, I need your help."
I will go with you, and I can be very speaking good.
I would appreciate it. I mean, I would go by myself, but I just don't think that's prudent.
We will go and we will have a discussion with them, and everything will be good.
We can hope, because if we can actually break the old hatred that this Templar has for us, if we can sever that tie,
Heal the wound.
heal the wound, maybe re-break the bone,
I
set
will
it
have to.
properly, we won't have a problem.
I wonder if I can see it. See the wound.
Uh, it's not a physical wound.
See, I know. I see things. I get visions of past, present, future.
Ah,
Uh,
I mostly see fate.
that is how I knew about these snakes who were stirring up the problems between the Christians and the pagans. It was a vision. Granted, I had to eat the werewolf brain to get the vision, but isn't he was a bad person. Put to good use.
Uh, my hat goes off to you. On
Somebody
that,
had already eaten their heart, so I could not use that part. But I needed something connected to that stuff.
yes,
What can I use for the? I wonder, if Father
Leonard.
Fire Leonard. I
Yeah,
wonder if he has anything from there. Oh, the ropes that bound Father Leonard. Those may have enough ties to the person that I can use them to induce a vision. I'll have
I
to talk to
wonder.
Father Leonard.
He seems like he's recovering nicely.
He
It,
was very different than the friar I knew when I went and found his stuff that he had lost.
yeah, my heart breaks for him. I mean, if we can get him justice in one way or another. I mean, because I don't understand how in the world. I mean, there was no discussion, there was no nothing, there was a writ from the Pope. What did this Templar tell this Pope?
There are two types of Christians from my experience. The Christians who actually care about what Christ said and did and is actually care about other people, like Friar Leonard. And then there are the Christians who say, if you are not like me, if you do not do as I say, you are not a Christian and you will be suffering. Like
This,
Senor Carol.
yes, like this Templar. But if we can actually
So
solve the problem without violence, I mean, granted, war is just diplomacy carried out by other means. I understand this. But
I
I'm
will see
just,
if I can get more information.
but something about this particular weapon doesn't sit well with me.
Me either.
I mean, what it was originally designed for? Yes, please. All the yes. But to take it and use it in a way that it was not intended?
If it suppressed the people who are not supposed to be using it, their magic until they left the distance or something, I would be fine with that. But that unlimited, I can shoot them and destroy all the magic and all the magical pebbles in an area that I do not, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, is literally nothing more than a defense. Someone made a conscious decision to try and hack into it. The other, you're just
See,
standing there and bam. I mean, I don't know how else to word that. That is horrific.
it is. I will see if I can get the ropes from Senior Leonard. Perhaps I can get some insight onto the Templars' wound. I just hope this does not make me have to go back in time to get something to fix it because going in the time stuff is very
Tricky.
disconcerting.
Yeah. I don't even want to deal with the backlash from that.
If it saved Senior Carl and the entire world from this machine,
Then yeah.
it's hard to say that I would know.
I was
But
honestly halfway considering looking at it, seeing where it would break, and literally throwing a wrench into it. But
if
the more I thought about that, the more I realized that if this thing goes off and it destroys me, and I have not dealt with the reasons behind it, they still have everything, you know. So what we were
prepare a
talking
few
about
folks
earlier,
and is all better.
yeah, it, oof. I mean, it was literally just a passing thought, but I had been meaning to do street pachar um, across the street from this Templar's church for a while to try and draw him out, um, to at least try to negotiate with him to see if I could put a stop to it. And then whenever I saw this machine, all of that just kind of blew up in my face, and I was like, the stakes just went up by 1,000.
And they were plenty high before that.
Yeah. I mean, because it's entirely possible. I throw him back on the wheel, I turn the wheel. It's entirely possible that, you know, the next time that Ottoman awakens, that he's just going to do the same thing.
See?
That is a risk. Which is why I halfway considered, you know, torture. Make his death a lesson. Period. End of discussion. But if there's a way to handle this without anyone dying and without any soul being destroyed, you know, I mean, save the big guns for, you know, Naraka. I mean, because even the rite of Gilgal, you go before the council, and it's something that we decide as a community. It's not one person decides, hey, I'm going to just point it at a church in the middle of the Eucharist. You know, I mean,
No, I am with you on that. I am very much on that.
you know, I just don't want anyone to think that I'm not for making Carl answer for what he's done.
No, he will pay one way or the other, but we are trying to do it the right way and not the American way, which is just press the button and nuke everything.
Yes. Because it really is a nuclear weapon. It's the closest thing I can think of to describe it. It's a nuclear weapon. It is a magical nuke. So, are you wanting to go to the Akashiana before or after we try the diplomatic approach?
I want to have hope for the diplomatic approach because I want it to work. I want it to work. I am fairly certain it is not going to work.
It's one thing that you have to learn. You can't want it more than they do.
They do not want it to work. He is.
Yes, but do we not owe it? I mean, to our own morals, if nothing else, to try.
We have to try. I would not be able to live with myself if I knew that we just did it and did not care about what happened to the people, to their spirits. We do not know if this will break just a normal person's spirit. We know it is going to destroy his spiritual center, his avatar, his magic. But is this going to create, will the other people like have just their human spirit broken, destroyed? They do not know what this does.
No. And they're willing
And
to test it on a quote unquote enemy.
an enemy who has surrounded himself with innocent peoples.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe that's, his MO. Maybe that's why he surrounds himself with innocents.
Because he knows we are better people than him and will not just mass murder them.
Yes. It has
I do
been
not
known to
like
happen
him.
before.
He has. And I just do not like him at all, ever.
Oh, I don't like him, but I don't hate him.
I hate what he is doing.
Yes. But if I get too close to the situation, I can't do what needs to be done if it needs to be done. Whatever I do, I have to do from a center of compassion. Because if I don't, I may as well put myself back on the wheel because I have lost my way.
She puts her hand on top of yours and kind of gives it a squeeze reassuringly. We will make sure that this is done right.
I hope and pray you're right. I hope that cooler heads prevail.
Otherwise, I would just have to kick everyone's ass, and that will have to be that.
Yeah, let's try not to kick anyone's ass. Let's try to actually talk this out.
We'll
If
see,
it
but
does,
if he just decides to just press a button, I will kick his ass.
if he tries to, if he pushes the button, then we're pretty much will all. Yeah, I don't normally say this, but we're all fucked.
See. And that is why he has ass kicking.
That is a karmic debt he does not want.
It is a karmic that he does not understand.
No, which is why he doesn't need anywhere near that button. Which is exactly why he doesn't need to be anywhere near that button. Whatever we decide to do needs to be done with a heart of compassion, both towards Friar Leonard and ultimately to Templar Carl.
Which is being compassionate to ourselves.
Yes. You understand that?
Oh, see, compassion I understand. I am a pharaoh, a healer. That is kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Granted, I tend to heal the plants and the land more than I do people's most of the days, but the plants seem to appreciate me.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing is saying that, plants do not appreciate a kind hand. Absolutely, they do.
Okay, so I have kept you busy very long time tonight, and I appreciate your time, and I will make appointment to come see you. Would I visit you at work, or should I meet you somewhere else for this? Or
Um, you can come to
hi, I'm
um
here at the hospice place where the people stay. I want to be checked out so I can have a baby.
um I tell you what. Um Not quite in those words, but yeah, if you just basically come in and say that you're here to see me, I will be more than happy to do a pelvic, run through, everything, make sure everything's in tip-top shape. Um
It should be, but as I say, I've not been to a doctor in many years.
you probably haven't needed to come to one, but I mean, if you're planning on a pregnancy, there's a um
It's
yeah,
a big change to your body.
it really is. I can recommend um an obstetrician. We can get you, set up there because I'm not I
You are not certified for that.
no, no. um it has been it has been 6 years since my third year medical school rotation.
So you have not done the baby wing in very long.
No, not in very long, and there was not even a delivery that I was present for. I was at
This
plenty
could be
well.
your first. Could be fun.
Uh, I would really rather there be a midwife or, and someone who is an obstetrics person to, to do this that is outside of my scope. Um,
Now that you mention it, I'm pretty certain we have somebody who is a midwife.
that is, yes. I have no problem doing a pelvic. I have no problem making sure everything's in tip-top shape. Once you actually become pregnant, um,
It is out of your hands.
it is out of my hands. Exactly. I would not want. I would not want something to go off in left field, and I don't know what. I mean, it had been so long since I've done anything in that realm that no.
Do you know anybody who is in that who is supernatural friendly?
um, no, but I can kind of put feelers out.
If you ever hear about someone, let me know because that would having somebody that I can openly talk to about the extemporaneous circumstances and things being not normal, it would make
Hmm.
it very much easier. I know the midwife is supernatural friendly.
Yes, but even well, the midwife would probably know better than I would. Mostly because of having more contacts in that area. Um, but I can certainly
I
put
will
out
ask
feelers.
around.
Yeah, I will certainly put out feelers. Especially, I don't know of special circumstances. Um, There's a lot of there can be a lot of complications, and I would honestly rather have someone who knows more about that particular area, just in case things go pear-shaped.
See,
Labor and delivery is great. It either runs perfectly smooth and you don't need to do anything, or it goes pear-shaped, and whenever it goes pear-shaped, it goes really pear-shaped.
I am glad I have this strong healing ability so
Yes,
that we can survive.
yes, but better safe than sorry.
See.
Um, well, I promised them that I would help them clean up. But yes, I will keep feelers out for a supernatural friendly obstetric. We will go to the Akashiana probably after the
Diplomacy attempt.
after the diplomatic attempt. Try and keep an eye on Aaron.
If I see him, he hides off somewhere in like a giant computer, I swear.
Oh. Yes, but I don't think I don't know. He might be able to, set this thing off from a computer.
I don't know. There is so much about this thing that I am not sure if they even understand all of what this thing can do.
Yeah. It's untested, which is why he wants to test it on them.
What about if this thing just super empowers him?
That is possible. I mean, before it burns out, he's going to burn bright.
See, and what kind of damage can he do at that point?
That is a terrifying thought. That is
because I did not say that this would be like that, or if it would be 20 minutes, an hour, 2 days. They did not say. And does he have to stay in whatever that space is for that long? I do not like it. I do not like it.
No. No, both of us are on the same page as far as that goes. Oh.
I will let you get back. I will keep talking all night if you do not go. So
it was good seeing you, Miranda.
and you too, señorita Hecta.
All right. Well, I will get back to my Seva.
She stands up and opens her arms for a hug.
Oh, hug. Big hug.
We will talk again soon.
Yes, we will talk again soon. Wish me luck.
Very good luck to you.
Thank you. May Lady Luck smile on me, because I'm going to need all of it I can get.
See.
Well, you take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.
Buenas noches.
Good night.
And unless there's anything else, that's a great place to stop. Yes, no?
Yes.
And broadcast.